depends on your strategy, depends on your objectives and how you go about doing it, so, which you already touched upon.
There's a paper you should read by, I forget his first, Paul Gumpers at Harvard. He did a study on governance, and what he showed is that when you look at the study on governance, that firms that actually do not inhibit shareholder value significantly outperform firms that actually do. And so you see that impact when you look at the spread between the two. I forget when it was written. My memory fails me right now, but Paul Gumpers at Harvard University is a fantastic piece on governance. And so you'll get a sense of there should not be a sacrifice if done appropriately. So.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And along those lines, there was an article in the Journal of Sustainable Finance and Investment, I have it here if anyone wants to look at it, about ESG and financial performance, and it's aggregated evidence of more than 2,000 empirical studies, and it does a really good job going back all the way to 1970 and showing that there is validity in ESG investing, and I recommend anybody to read that. It just came out, I think, December of last year. And I know we're wrapping things up. We still have another maybe half an hour for food and appetizers, but I have one question I want to ask that came from the audience. It says, data around research and portfolio construction has grown. However, what are some of the best practices for large institutional investors to integrate ESG practices into an IPS and overall stakeholder top of mind?
You.
And we can table that one. We can get back to you with more, but I think Deb has one last question if you want to throw that.
Yeah, I was just going to maybe add to that for the objective for an institutional investor, is that it?
Yes, for a large institutional.
I don't know if this may answer the question, but the Department of Labor had issued a ruling last year, which there's been a lot of debate over the past few years, and maybe one of you wants to talk about this more, over whether integrating ESG factors violates fiduciary duty. And in October of last year, the Department of Labor clarified its stance on it and said that there were several cases, in certain cases, no, it does not, and even in some cases, ignoring these factors would actually be a violation of fiduciary duty. And so you can have it in the IPS.
Whoever had that question, Northern Trust actually has a really long white paper on that, and it goes through it, so happy to send it to you.
Great, thank you.
Specifically.
Okay.
And one last thing, you probably know that CFA Institute is doing a lot in this space, and Deb has written ESG criteria, I think, for level 1 and even parts of level 2. Do you want to just touch upon that before we wrap things up?
Sure. So for the 2017 exam, level 1 now includes a section on ESG considerations in investing. For the 2018 exam, we're updating that already because things have changed in the year since we finished it. And we're also including in level 2 case studies on how to integrate ESG into equity and bond analysis. And so I think they're going to continue with that.
Great.
And yeah, that's about all I have. There's one more question on this card on the person who asked this question. May want to follow up individually with Julia and you want me to ask it? Can you comment on any trends in long-short ESG funds?
Long-short?
Yes.
Circle back with us on that one.
All right.
So.
Well, I think we've come to a conclusion. I want to thank all of you for attending and thank our wonderful panelists, including Deb. I think we have another half an hour of the facility, so there's food and beverages outside. Let's take a lot of this energy outside and continue the conversation. Thank you again.